I like it. I think we should keep our tree that way this year. It's just raw, the way that Jesus would want it, I feel.
Yeah, and then we need a second one for all the ornaments because we have
no ornaments. This one is all bundled up, representing the
ornaments are so special.
Over-commercialization of Christmas. It's got a tag on it, like you're selling Jesus' birth. Rush Limbaugh would agree with me. What's the name of that Pervo guy?
Which one?
Bill O'Reilly.
Oh, okay.
He would agree with me. Killing Christmas. It's probably already a book. Okay, ready for Christmas traditions?
I think so.
Okay, I'm going to start this one. Traditions are stupid. Now your turn. What are our traditions?
I thought you might say that.
Yeah, well, you know how I feel about gifts. Traditions aren't much different. Traditions are habits that you form for ideas that are bad ideas. So
Wait, what?
When an idea is not good enough for people to want to relive it on their own, then you have to turn it into a tradition. Well, we're going to do that because that's our tradition.
Maybe you just redo that same thing every year because everybody really likes it.
Cool. Then that's not a tradition. That's just
But traditions can be things you get excited to do. I think it really depends on your personality. You are not a traditionalist, but I am, and I know some of our children are, and they love doing things because it's time to do them, and they get excited for that thing
that they're season.
Looking forward to.
That's not a tradition. The leaves fall not because that's their tradition. That's the season for that thing.
Okay,
if
you rake the leaves every year when the leaves fall, and that's the thing we do at that time because we really enjoy it and we get excited about it and we jump in the pile, is that a tradition or is that just a thing you do at that time?
That's just a thing you do. Building snowmen, that's a thing you do when it snows. If you tell me, hey, my family tradition is this, I'm guessing probably there's like an 80 to 90% chance whatever you're about to say is a terrible idea, that no one would actually have fun doing it, but you all pretend that you're having fun because someone is emotionally attached to that thing and you all don't want to offend that person.
Okay.
Now, your family traditions.
A lot of these are things that you really enjoy doing. The first one is the day after Halloween, you open up a Christmas cabinet and you start pulling out stuff and putting them all around the house. And
Thank you.
I think that's a tradition in our house.
No.
But you just really like doing it.
I refuse to do it as a tradition. I don't do it because it's a tradition.
You don't do it because you have to, but you do it because you want to.
I do it because it's the first day you allow me to put out Christmas decorations. Because I would put them out in August because that feels like the right time for me, feels like the right season. So in my world, there's 6 feet of snow on the ground and you're like, but it's not snowman time yet. It's not my tradition to run out and make a snowman when you say, now you're allowed to. That's just what I've been dying to do anyway.
Maybe we're just defining tradition differently.
It must be.
You're saying it's something that you have to do because it's time to do it, and I'm saying it's a thing that you want to do and you can't wait until it's time that you get to do it.
Okay, sure. If that's the way you want to... Yes, a tradition in my mind is an obligation.
Okay.
When I wake up in the morning, I don't eat because it's our tradition. You have to do that. I'm just hungry. I want to eat.
But it might be a tradition to eat a certain thing. It's breakfast time, and your ritual, or whatever you want to call it, is to go out and eat.
Right. And if that food is not also good enough to eat at night, then don't eat it in the morning. That's a terrible idea. Why would you eat it just because all the stuff that's labeled breakfast is crappy food?
Maybe you just like it in the morning.
If your tri-tip last night was great, warm up some tri-tip and have some tri-tip in the morning. Or have whatever sounds good to you. But don't go down the breakfast aisle and go, well, these are the things I'm allowed to eat in the morning. That's dumb.
But eggs sound good to me in the morning, and they don't sound good to me at night.
Okay. I don't know what to say to that. Anyway, enough fighting about what it is.
Aside from that one, no, the kids all have their bins of certain ornaments, and they get ornaments from their grandparents each year that are representative of something that happened that year. And we put the year on the bottom and the kids' initials on the bottom, and they all have their little box of their certain ones. And so I generally give them, here's your spot on the tree, and then they get to decorate that area. And they generally spend an hour or two before they actually put the ornaments on the tree looking at all the ornaments and remember when I did this, remember when I did that, and what is this one for again? I can't remember. Why do I have one of the shoes? And
they do that because we tell them that's our tradition. You must ask questions about your ornaments.
No, they do that because they're excited about doing that, and it just happens that it happens the same way every year, and I call it a tradition because it repeats.
I won't keep doing that on each of yours. Sorry.
Thank you. They're just things to repeat, and we enjoy them. That's all. We also have a nativity set that we bring out at the same time. It's in a little Santa box, and all the parts of the nativity. It's a Fisher Price one, so it's all plastic. The kids can play with it, and it sits on the table, and we get a lot of sometimes creative tellings of the Christmas story and sometimes accurate ones, but they play with that pretty much all December long, November and December long, and that's a lot of fun. So that's another tradition. Another thing that we do each year is we have a box of Christmas books, and that, again, only comes out when the Christmas decorations come out, and I add a book to it each year. So there's some in there that the big kids remember from that are more like board books or nursery rhyme type Christmas stories, and then as they get older, we're adding some of the longer ones, like we just added Polar Express, and some of the ones that are a little bit longer to read, but the older kids enjoy, but then they get to re-enjoy the ones that they've read before, and they only come out then. So since it's kind of a new set of books, it's more exciting because, oh yeah, I remember this one, it was my favorite, but they haven't seen it in a while, and it just makes it all fresh.
And you've been doing this for how long?
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I've never heard of this before.
Oh, we do.
It's our family tradition? Okay.
It's my tradition with the kids, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Dad wasn't such a grump. Maybe he'd participate in the family traditions. Okay.
I do most of the reading of the books to the kids, so I don't know. Maybe that's why.
You are the smart one.
We do Christmas light tours. We have a couple of neighborhoods in our area around town that we go to, and we've done. Sometimes we just do it with just us. Sometimes we do it with cousins. We have a lot of big vehicles in the family, and we pile in with cousins and go do Christmas light tours, and that's become a thing we've enjoyed doing.
I feel
every
like
year for the last few years.
That's a good example, though, of something that you should just consider not doing. Like
just in case everybody hates it and they don't want to admit it.
Just try not doing it, and if everybody goes, "Wow, sure was a relief that we didn't have to organize that one event," then maybe you don't do that one the next year. So if you've got a few years running on something, I would recommend just trying to not do it and just see what that felt like. If it was horrible,
this post for you is about killing the traditions that need to die.
Sure. Which is anything that I would classify as a tradition. Just when it's time to get together, then get together and do whatever everybody wants to do that year instead of what everyone's afraid to express that they don't want to do.
Mm-hmm. We also typically do Christmas cookies. That's one that kind of came with me because I've done that. That was a tradition in my family growing up for years and years, but my grandmother always made. There was a certain sugar cookie recipe she always did, and we had like the same cookie cutters that she probably got in the 50s, and they lasted. They were really awesome. I wish I still had those. We, I did the 7 different colors of icing, and everybody piled around the table and put sprinkles and way too much stuff. Mm-hmm. And so we still do that one with the kids, and of course it involves sugar, so they also really like that, and we continue doing that one.
As long as you're okay this year not doing it, or next year.
I'm not.
At some point, it's going to die.
Okay.
The kids are going to want to do it with their kids, or they're going to want to do something else for Christmas.
Can I come over when they do it with their kids?
No, you don't. Oh, when they do, well, yeah, sure, I think so.
I'll bring the cookies.
That helps. That helps. But yeah, like at some point they're going to want to not do it. I think as soon as somebody wants to not do it, as soon as the interaction is not consensual, then no means no.
Right. I could see you're saying you shouldn't force people to do a thing they don't want to do just because we all have to do it because this is the tradition.
That's what tradition feels like to me.
Okay. It's not what it feels like to me, but I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
So, whenever it feels like nobody wants to do this anymore.
No, as soon as somebody doesn't want to do it anymore, they should be allowed to not do it without everybody else who does want to do it hating them.
Sure. Because they're probably going to be a party pooper.
They're going to be a party pooper.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a really good chance, if you just X'd whatever that was and you just tried something else, everyone would have a great time doing that other thing, and that could become a new tradition all on its own.
Sure.
So I just feel like more adventurous times together are going to create more interesting memories than like every holiday. You've got the same set of pictures, but everybody's taller.
Sure. I'm all in favor of adding new things, but sometimes there's old things that everybody still really enjoys. So as long as people are still getting that good feeling out of them, we don't not do it just because it's the tradition and we want to not be traditionalists.
We are so different, and somehow we still get along together.
I think the last one I had was the Christmas Eve. We've, the last few years, done everybody gets new jammies, we watch a new movie, and we did that with the cousins. We had a bunch of cousins over, and we did that all together.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun, and everybody enjoyed doing it. And we've probably done it a couple of years now, and that one was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that was a new tradition. That's a recent one.
This is all I'm saying. Why does it have to be a new tradition? Why can't it just be that thing that we did for those 3 years, and then for another 3 years we did something else? So if you'd like to share your family traditions with us, then let us know in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Did I do it right?
You did it right.
That was really close.
I'm just laughing because now they're going to not want to tell you their traditions.
I don't want them to tell me anything.
I would love to hear about your family traditions.
Okay.
It sounds like fun.
Sounds like the opposite of fun to me.
So like and subscribe and follow us at crazyblessedadventures.com.
Bum, bum, bum.